to thank all of my readers for reading my books and bearing witness to my story. It was quite the saga. I moved from victim to survivor, then to thriver, within the span of 2 years. What I can say is don't get lost in the pain. Push through to get to the other side. It's truly worth it. One key to overcoming this pain quickly is to put it into perspective and realize that this has happened to many a good mother. After writing 3 true story books and an ugly 11-year family court battle over the custody of our child, I was finally able to establish peace with the narcissist. How did I do this? Well, it took strategy, planning, and follow-through. I had to use skillful means, be extremely patient, eliminate my weaknesses, and figure out what wins in family court. First, I had to establish a winning mindset and overcome my losses. That's what you will read about in my first book, Co-Parenting with the Narcissist, 7 Self-Rules to Stay Sane. Mindset can be everything sometimes. If you are struggling, know that you are not alone. If you are in a custody battle and forced to co-parent with the narcissist, you will be placed in a predicament loaded with inherent problems. Be sure to get your mind clear, sane, and established firmly with your why you are enduring this hell. Note, the chapter headings are the self-rules that I set that got me through the first leg of my battle. I battled for my sanity in the midst of insanity. Keeping my sanity saved my case and my child. Be smart. Establish some self-rules. After losing my legal rights to my only child and sorting out my dilemmas, I was able to hire a more competent attorney and have the courage to file many contempts on my ex for non-compliance of the court order. I was able to win back my rights slowly and have my ex pay my legal fees. My child regained her therapist and got more protection. I received regular child support without issue. The judge began denying and dismissing his many motions. Read about that in my second follow-up book, How to Fight a Narcissist in Family Court and Win. I left all the drama, trauma, and chaos behind and opted for strategies and planning. Was I able to get a 100% perfect co-parenting relationship? No. Was I able to turn the angry narcissist's mind from me being the target of blame to lawyers in the courts? Yes. Was he nicer to me when I adopted key survival strategies? Yes. Did our child benefit from my survival and all the new neutralizing strategies that I implemented? Absolutely. You can read about this in my third book, Co-Parenting with a Sociopath, Survival and Sanity Guide. Am I happy with what I was able to accomplish? By having self-discipline and establishing rules of conduct for myself? Yes. Was I able to cultivate contentment, regardless of what the narcissist was or wasn't doing? Yes. If you are desperate for a better way, I hope you read all 3 of my books. I want this for you. Even more so, I want this for your innocent child caught in the middle. Please learn all you can from me and my story. I write my story so that you can glean the wisdom for yourself, as I can't give you legal advice. Each case can be so vastly different, but eerily similar. You will have to take what resonates for you. I lost, but not too badly, compared to the many stories that moms share with me in my private coaching practice. Knowing what I was up against and the tricks that would be placed, I prevented parental alienation and safeguarded myself against many false claims. These narcissistic tactics are important to be aware of. I call this co-parenting abuse, and it is infuriatingly unjust and sometimes hard to prove. Educating myself on typical narcissistic patterns allowed me to stay a few steps ahead, which was key. I documented like a paralegal pro and was a formidable opponent to disinformation. Because I was able to learn and change my ways, I changed my custody case in my favor. I not only staged a comeback, but also set a tone for an easier life for myself and my child. If you can learn, then you can change what's happening and the outcomes. My child went on to win all her activities back too, from my disgruntled, litigious ex. As planned, she was able to be emotionally supported and surrounded by the eyes of the court, other court professionals, her therapist, his parents, and mainly me. I slowly backed up into the spotlight of family court, which made a difference. While my new lawyer strategized how to win with his carefully planned chip away at it method, I worked on dismantling the enemy image of me in his mind, repairing some goodwill that was lost in battle. I became cooperative, non-confrontational, friendly, and seemingly a non-threat. When I eliminated some of my haunting fears, I changed my legal method from solely defense mode to occasional offense mode. I compiled contempt so that my cases were more solid. In this way, the family court became a threat to him. After years of using family court to hurt me, he decided not to go there. With the wisdom of how to play the game, I made sure that every time he went to court, it was costly and unpleasant, and taught him a lesson that consequences are expensive and embarrassing. This made all the difference. After reading this book, be sure to keep establishing healthy mindsets and learn what it takes to win in family court. And then, create peace. I hope my story of trials, tears, and transformation brings you to better days and happier parenting. We can't always change what happened to us, but we can choose how to live it. XO, Grace. P.S. A note to all the fathers. I see that you have read my books. Although I am a woman's author and my mission is to help protective mothers, I want to shout out to the dads. I didn't expect so many fathers to read my books. Thank you if you are. I know many men with narcissistic exes who lose their money, health, children, and sanity to narcissistic mothers who are just as bad as narcissistic fathers. My heart goes out to you too. It can be infuriating, confusing, and crazy. I know that you can be very concerned, rightly so, to have young children in the clutches of a narcissistic mother who often neglects and abuses children in ways that can be so subtle and hard or impossible to prove. Yet, we can see the damage to their precious little souls. Keep this in mind. While it may only take one high conflict party to keep the conflict going in family court, it can only take one healthy, stable, solid parent to raise a healthy child. Be that healthy person. Here's my encouragement to the dads out there. Weather the storms. Opt out of drama, trauma, and chaos. Stay away from crazy-making behavior. Follow court orders. Focus on your child. Be the best dad you can be despite what your ex says about you. I believe that children can, and eventually do, make up their own minds based on being loved. Your constant care and presence, and your actions. Do fun things with your child. Make memories that can't be erased. Don't get sucked into battles that draw your attention away from your child or children. Don't react. Before you respond, please reason it out with someone rational, civil, logical, or one of us coaches who deal effectively with narcissists. Talk to a few trusted people to get a few perspectives to vent. I find that tip to be the most helpful to my dad friends who deal with the nonsense regularly. When they talk to a few guy friends, they can calm down a bit. Don't be afraid or feel embarrassed to ask for help. Those who get the help get the prize of peace. And don't make mistakes that cost them in court. Also, in the long run, I have noted that dads tend to do better when a judge orders things versus caving and giving in to a woman who constantly uses them. I have witnessed men get resentful and bitter after being used, during and especially if it continues after the relationship. Don't allow that to happen to you. It may be easier for you to accept the laws and rules and calculations over being taken advantage of repeatedly. Also, don't hold it in. Get therapy to purge this pain and get the poison, toxin, pain, rage out. Your harboring resentments can come out sideways inadvertently, and the children feel it. Some children end up mistakenly blaming themselves. So if your ex needs to experience the consequences of her behavior, allow it to happen. Don't enable her anymore. I understand it's hard to see someone get in trouble for bad behavior, but our children are counting on us. Also, don't cave into any false threats. Document them and keep detailed lists. Let the judge inform them what's up. Don't be the one to deliver the voice of reason. Otherwise, you will be blamed. Look for my book recommendations in the back. If you are reading this, I suggest you read those in addition. Another word of wisdom for caring dads: please don't assume that you can represent yourself properly. I have seen many dads try to save money only to get emotional during the hearing or trial and lose their case. You need a lawyer who is a family court expert, not your tax attorney. Sometimes you will have to pay thousands to get the respect you have earned and worth. Yes, it's part of the unfairness that we all have to face. But you'll be amazed at how much nicer your ex can be when they have to face the music. Or your better lawyer. Or a judge. Versus control you through your fears and insecurities. Do what I had to do. I shored up my weaknesses. And became tougher with solid boundaries. Learn to say no to your ex. After all, we teach people how to treat us. As you know, dads have rights too. I am in support of whoever is the protective, healthy, child-focused parent and non-abusive. I am sorry that you have to go through this too. Your children are lucky to have you. I always say that the only thing worse than a narcissistic father is a narcissistic mother. If you can, get your child or children into therapy ASAP, preferably from a narcissistic abuse expert, because often regular therapists won't pick up on the mother being an issue. So you need experts with experience. Children will need to overcome shattered self-esteem, self-doubt, and other harmful effects of a narcissistic mother. But know that they can and do with support. Message me for names of great coaches that had narcissistic mothers and went on to thrive and become stronger than before. They now help others with what they went through. I personally know a few that have made it past the awful experience of a narcissistic mother. Believe in yourself and believe in your child. If you can, push, even if you need a judge to order it, even if you have to pay extra, to have your children involved in sports, dance, scouts, and other events in the community. We aren't born with self-esteem. We have to build it. It's our fundamental power. Be aware that a narc mother can stunt this growth for a child. Make a way. Find a way. Then, go to these, even if you feel uncomfortable. Do so, even if you have to stand far away with a smile and a wave. Bring them a bottle of water, flowers, new batting gloves, whatever token helps them feel remembered, valued, and thought about. The more time they have building self-esteem and friendships, the better their chances are. And know that sometimes you have to take the lead in advocating for your children, even if it has to go before a judge and become a court order, because she doesn't have any decency. Children only get one childhood. Don't allow the narcissist to ruin it completely. You can make a difference. Be sure to follow any court orders that restrict you, even if they are unfair. Always find out your options. See if you can appeal with a better lawyer. Allowing injustices to add up can really haunt us and lead us into depression. Fight against that. Use your anger constructively to build better boundaries and a better life for yourself and your child or children. I hope my words of encouragement help. Please feel welcome to read any and all of my books written to mothers and women. Learn all you can.
Please like and subscribe to get more free videos.